can happen in just 1 second. Winning goal, winning save, perfect tackle, clever flick, good call from the ref, great shout from the line. The county title, after 30 years, a long wait over, in just 1 second. It's a game of seconds. Glorious seconds. Genius in split seconds. By great players. Just 1 second. The difference between a good decision and a bad one. A lost temper, frustrated shout, that gut reaction. We've all done it. And we're never proud. But we can do better. We all can. Sideline, dressing room, meeting room, all places of passion where split-second decisions are made. Good ones, bad ones, and some days, not so calm ones. It's instinct, we know, because we love it. We just don't think. But we have to. Of others, of our players, of our game. Think before we act.
Take a second, catch your breath. Collect yourself, don't regret. Take a second to make the right call for ladies Gaelic football.
Well, hello and a very good afternoon and welcome along to Advant Money Park. Sean McDermott. Championship time has finally arrived as the start of the TG4 All-Ireland Ladies Intermediate Football Championship, and our round one encounter this afternoon certainly has all the potential to be a very interesting game. It's the meeting of the Leinster champions Kildare against a Leitrim team that recently reached the Connacht final. Yes, hello, good afternoon to you and welcome along to Advant Money Park. Sean McDermott. It's a warm day here in Carrick-on-Shannon, but at the same time there's a good level of anticipation around ahead of the start of a new championship campaign getting underway. Let's start off and give you a check on the two teams that are lining out, and Leitrim come into today's game as underdogs. However, their full forward line has plenty of firepower. Team captain Michelle Guckin has been named at full forward, and DCU O'Connor Cup winner Leah Fox is at 13. Veteran defender Charlene Turl, a link back to the All-Ireland winning team of 07, has been named at right cornerback, while the emergence of Bandamore Shara Hestlins on the club scene in Leitrim is reflected in the selection of Millie Murphy, Megan McGovern and Laura O'Dowd, all in the starting 15. Number 21, Vivian Egan, has been handed a late starting role. She comes in at the expense of Alma Clancy in the half-forward line. Well, Nick, let's take a check on the Kildare team, and they are the Division 3 and Leinster champions. In their starting 15, they include the former All-Star goalkeeper Mary Horrigan, the reliable netminder along with Roisin Byrne, Grace Clifford, Nessa Dooley and Leisha Lenahan were all named recently on the Division 3 Team of the Year. Kildare have already secured provincial and league titles this season. However, manager Diana Hora, who previously managed Longford and Roscommon in these parts, will be without Hazel McLaughlin and Roisin Ford with ACL injuries. Molly McLaughlin is recovering from an ankle injury, while leaving cert commitments rules out young goalkeeper Niamh Barnes and Amy Larn, who also plays seven-a-side rugby for Ireland. Well, our match referee for this afternoon's game is Ger Canny. He comes from the county of Mayo. Maeve Quinn is on co-commentary this afternoon. Maeve, you're very welcome along. Great to work with you as always. And as we mentioned there in the introduction, there's an air of anticipation here today. It's the start of a championship campaign. Two teams may be coming into it with slightly contrasting provincial championship fortunes. Leitrim beaten in the final against Roscommon was a disappointment after winning the previous two titles. Kildare have won Leinster. They've secured promotion from Division 3. They're on a team that are on a roll at the moment.
Great to be here, John. And yes, certainly Leitrim are a team that are, we have high expectations for them, and it has been disappointing the previous two games they've had. Kildare seem to be very much the team on the up, but as we know, Leitrim seems to prefer the underdogs role anyway, and I wouldn't write them off today, even though they are the underdogs. But certainly I'd be expecting that if they play as we know they can play, they will certainly put it up to Kildare.
Yeah, there's lots of talented players on both teams this afternoon, and maybe when we look at Kildare, the visitors coming in here today, they're a team that very much have been successful. Getting that promotion from Division 3 has been absolutely magnificent for them, and maybe one player in particular to keep an eye out for is obviously Roisin Byrne. She was absolutely emphatic in the Leinster Championship, excellent in their league decider as well. She's a key player for the Lily Whites.
Yes, and she got player of the match in that Leinster final, and I believe deservedly so. But I think a few others that I would also like us to keep a very tight eye on Laura Curran. And I think as well as that, Lauren Burke seems to have the ability to push forward as well, even though she's coming there from their full back line.
A good representation, of course, on that Division 3 team of the year. And one of the players that we were just watching in the warm-up is their goalkeeper, former All-Stars, we mentioned Mary Hulgrain. She is a player that's got everything you want as a goalkeeper. Huge presence, great sense of mind, excellent distribution with the kick out as well, and she's such a launch pad for so many Kildare attacks. That's something that the Leitrim management team will be keeping a very close eye on prior to the game today.
Absolutely, she is a very strong goalie, and as you say, she has a huge presence in there and very much gives them huge confidence to build from there.
We talked about the Leitrim selection coming into this game, and indeed their full forward line, when you look at it almost immediately, with the likes of Michelle Gucky, the former Leitrim inter-county goalkeeper, very much now an outfield player, named at full forward, the captain. Also in there is Leah Fox. That's a formidable threat in the full forward line for Leitrim. Getting the ball into them, getting quality ball in, that's going to be key for them today.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we know we have a formidable forward line when they're on song and able to get the shots. I think possession is going to be the big thing here, and to me, key for the possession happening and Leitrim, if you like, playing well, is movement up front. It's one of the things that I did feel was missing in the last game, in terms of there been much movement off the ball when, say, our half-back line are coming up with that ball. And that's going to be key to that forward line really being able to get on the ball and do something with it.
We talked about the conditions here. It's almost a sweltering heat. It's a kind of a humid day, the best way to describe it, in Carrick-on-Shannon this afternoon. Just looking down at the pitch side, little or no breeze really down at the sideline to look at. Seems to be we've got our national anthem coming up in a few seconds' time as well. We'll pause for that, but there seems to be a slight breeze maybe behind the goals. It's kind of going diagonally from left to right, ever so slightly down towards the scoreboard end.
It is very much. Well, it does seem to be blowing down there, but as you say, down at pitch side there's very little wind.
Well, it's going to be a day that's going to test the fitness levels of the players. Right now we're going to pause here in Advant Money Park, Sean McDermott, for the start of the national anthem. The national anthem sung to perfection. The conditions absolutely perfect here. It's been a busy weekend in Carrick-on-Shannon. The All-Ireland Minor men's quarter-finals took place here yesterday. The Connacht representatives Galway Mayo up against Derry and Monaghan in the respective quarter-finals from the province of Ulster. But today the attention very much switches to the LGFA All-Ireland Intermediate Football Championship, sponsored by TG4, and the two teams now beginning to get into their respective positions right from the start of today's game. And it's going to be the Kildare team that will be playing from left to right in their familiar all-white colours. The Lily Whites playing from left to right here in the opening half. Leitrim in green and gold, and already you can see them from the Leitrim team that they've moved Michelle Guckin, the full forward and captain, out to the middle of the park for the throw-in. So a lot of emphasis placed at least on the throw-in here, and right from the start of the game they'll be looking to get early possession, Maeve.
Yes, and usually Michelle does a pretty good job on getting on the ball there from the throw-up.
Big occasion for both of these teams now as they look to put the respective provincial championships behind them. Kildare winning in Leinster, Leitrim runners up at Connacht, but it's all now about the All-Ireland series and who's going to progress from there. Immediately here is Kildare with Megan McGovern on the attack. Ball going across there towards the far side of the field. Grace Clifford was the team captain who won the ball, just switching it back in once more. Kildare bringing so much experience into this particular tie. They've walked the ball down here towards their wing forward once again. And certainly you can just imagine where the possession is going to be crucial here for Kildare in the early exchanges of this game. Ball going down into their inside forward line. As we mentioned, so much potential in there. Nessa Dooley has the ball and recycles it out here to Roisin Byrne. Roisin Byrne, the centre half forward, playing that one inside again, but referee has spotted the infringement. Racing after it was Trina Duggan. It's a good start for Kildare. They've kept the ball very much in the Leitrim half of the field after winning it from the throw-in, and now they've got the early opportunity here. Roisin Byrne is the player who has got the ball in hand, coming back out to the 21-metre line, and I suppose her form of late, you could describe it something like the weather. Hot, hot, hot.
It is indeed. She's on fire and very good. You'd expect this one to be over.
This is one really you would routinely expect her to tap over the bar. Well, just over a minute gone here in the opening half, and Roisin Byrne looks to get the first score of the game, and Julie obliges with that point. So it's Kildare who lead by 1 point to no score. You can see about the way Diana Hora has this Kildare team set up. There's so much patience about them. They never really seem to rush it, always try and find the right player in possession, and they've won possession again, speaking of which, right from the Leitrim kick-out. Has got it here towards Trina Duggan this time. The game at the start of the game is going to be so important for Leitrim. Here's Duggan again. They'll want to try and get a foothold into it. Nessa Dooley playing that perfect ball into the inside forward line, and Kildare now with Dowling looking to make that little bit of space. It's come back out here again to Laura Curran, the corner forward. Switches it inside to Nessa Dooley. Again, good block there coming in from the Leitrim defence, and that's exactly what they needed. That was great play there from Jasmine May, who got that block in and was able to cut out the attack, and the ball has gone across there again towards May. Cara Le Guin is there bringing it forward here. Opportunities now for her to set Leitrim in motion here. She plays it down inside towards the forward line again. In there towards the direction of Aoife Gilmartin it goes. Michelle Guckin now in possession for Leitrim. How they're going to deploy her and where they're going to use her today is going to be absolutely interesting. That was got in towards Leah Fox. Might get it here at the second time of asking. Fox trying to fist the ball away, but it's well cut out by the Kildare defence, and a real pity there for Leitrim. A first opportunity maybe of a score for them, Maeve.
Absolutely. Leah did very well getting possession, but that pass she tried wasn't on.
Nessa Dooley now for Kildare. It's a 2v1 situation as she played it down there towards her colleagues in the full forward line. Lara Curran again is the player in possession. Gets it back out here to Grace Clifford, the team captain. Not the best of balls going in there from Grace, and Molly Murphy and co were quite happy to cut out that attack from a Leitrim perspective, and they can break again here. Carla Le Guin is one of those players who has plenty of pace. So too is Laura O'Dowd for them in round that middle sector of the field. Out it comes here to Casey Brune. Now they're switching it back in towards the number 21, Vivian Egan, a late starter on the team, named just about an hour before its throw-in, coming in place of Clancy, and that's gone down here towards Elsie Brune. Back again it goes to Vivian Egan, the player from Anaduff, just a few miles out the road from here. Leitrim now getting a decent spell of possession. Carla Le Guin again bringing the ball forward. Up to the Kildare 45-metre line. Good delivery in again here to the inside forward line. Laura O'Dowd getting on the ball quite a lot early on. Back out it comes here again to Megan McGovern. And Leitrim now will be quite happy just to get a phase or two of possession here themselves. The half-back line are pushing up and offering plenty of support to their forward line early on in the game. That's good to see. It's a positive footnote from Leitrim, isn't it?
It is indeed, but you would like a little bit more kind of trying to cut through. When you look down at the forward line, you're not seeing much movement inside, which is what I was talking about. Those players need to be crossing so that it's not so easy for Kildare to be marking them.
Well, that example was right on cue, Maeve. You summed it up so well. There was no real movement inside. wide. Here comes Leisha Lenahan now for Kildare. They're moving the transition from the defence to attack fairly quickly. Roisin Byrne has already scored in the game. Takes the 1-2 here. Oh, the pass just went astray momentarily from her. Curran was the player who gave her the pass. Kildare managed to hold on to the ball. Lara Gilbert now gets it out here towards Nessa Dooley. They're running here at speed. They're looking for the second score of the game, but that's got out to the wrong side of the post and wide. There's I suppose a contrast here between the two teams in the way Kildare seem to be an awful lot more direct, an awful lot movement in the forward line. Leitrim a lot of lateral passing and no real options in the inside forward line.
And I spoke for the game. They really need that forward line needs to be crossing, and they're more or less waiting for the ball to come. But I'd like to see more movement.
Yeah, well, this could be movement now as Vivian Egan looks to take on the baton here. It was Charlene Turl who launched an awful lot of urgency into the play, and Egan has the shot, and that's the equalising score. Well, what a point from her. It was a move that was all started off by the Leitrim defender back there, Charlene Turl, who came up the field on one of those marauding runs, and they got the point from Egan. That's a good score to help settle the confidence, and the kick out almost went astray. Leah Fox is going in there after it. Referee judges that there's been an infringement and a foul, and it's going to be a free in for Michelle Guckin, and all of a sudden now Leitrim are beginning to get a foothold in this game.
Absolutely great work there by Leah. Unfortunately she was fouled because Michelle was running inside her for the pass. It looked dangerous. Great point from Vivian there. Absolutely brilliant score indeed from her. Here's Michelle Guckin looking to follow it up with the free, and the team captain is up and running, gets her opening score of the game, and all of a sudden Leitrim now lead 2 points to 1, and that's a fairly quick turnaround. 7 minutes 22 seconds into the opening half, and those points there from Michelle Guckin and from Vivian Egan very much now at this stage helping Leitrim settle down in the game, Maeve. Yes, much better work by the forward line there.
Yeah, indeed, an awful lot better play from Leitrim. Megan McGovern and the midfielders are getting a little foothold of possession in the middle of the park as well, and the ball has come out here towards Sarah Reynolds on this near side of the field. Now possibilities here again for Leitrim. If they can get a finisher on the end of the move, Egan has shown that she can finish. Michelle Guckin can surely finish, and she gets her shot in, and that drops short and is taken there by Mary Hulgrain, the goalkeeper from Kildare, using that presence that we spoke about in the introduction to the game. She was there and able to cut out the attack, and it's an opportunity now for Kildare to go on the counter-attack themselves. They walk the ball out the field here. They've got so much talent in the middle of the field with Aoife Rattigan and Grace Clifford. Their two midfielders operating there, such launch pads for them into the forward line. It's been a direct style of play that they've deployed so far, but they find themselves a point behind as Grace Clifford takes that free. So Kildare moving again now on the far side of the field. It's Aoife Clifford this time who brings it forward, gives it there to Claire Sullivan. Claire Sullivan with a well-measured pass down inside to the forward line. It goes again. Kildare looking dangerous and lively when they get into this particular sector, and there goes the shot, and that's Roisin Byrne who has kicked her second point of the game, and Roisin Byrne has tied the teams up here at 2 points apiece. Simple move again, good transition from back to front, and Kildare are making sure they're getting finishers on the end of the move.
Yeah, absolutely. A great movement there, and a lot of space for them there at that time.
Charlene Turl has certainly been an outlet for Leitrim kickouts there. She was instrumental in their opening score, and she's won possession again. Leitrim now moving it. Coming forward here is Sarah Reynolds, moving at real speed there. The Casey Brune in that half-back line likes to attack as well. The ball comes out here to Vivian Egan again. Egan to Leah Fox, edge of the D. Looking to torment and tease the Kildare defence. Gets away from her marker again. It looks as if she was fouled. Oh, she's surely fouled now. And that's going to be a free in there. The guilty party in the end was Leisha Lenahan. They're having real trouble coming to terms with that jinking, diving, almost type of running of Leah Fox there. She's got a low centre of gravity, really difficult to pin down.
She is, and she's very light on her feet. She certainly jinks in and out.
Yeah, it must be an absolute nightmare for defenders to try and keep an eye on her. Well, it's Michelle Guckin who has a chance here of her second score of the game. Again, it comes in from a free, and Michelle Guckin has hit 2 over the bar so far. The Leitrim captain scoring twice. They've also got a point from Vivian Egan, but without a shadow of a doubt, Leah Fox in the full forward line is a real handful for Kildare, and it's Leitrim who go back into a 3 points to 2 lead. It's interesting from a Leitrim perspective, Maeve, when they came in here as provincial champions over the last couple of years, there was an awful lot more expectation about about Leitrim. This time round, maybe coming in with not as much pressure might suit them.
Well, it seems to, as I say, I suppose sometimes people, the pressure of expectation gets to people.
Aoife Rattigan has pumped that ball forward down towards Roisin Byrne. Again, 2 points to her credit, but that's gone out wide. The pass was a little bit over hit, to say the least, and it's going to be a kick out here for the Leitrim goalkeeper Michelle McNulty. No, Michelle Monaghan for Leitrim in goal. She's out with a finger injury at the moment. It was her a speedy recovery as she looks to get back to full fitness, and Leitrim again have possession here. Been a good period of the game for them. Charlene Turl beginning now to get her hands on a lot of ball there as well, and that's always good for Leitrim when they can get moves going like this. And there's a great ball in over the top again. Now possibilities here for Leitrim.
And Shiva Quinn on it.
Yeah. Just overplayed the ball a little bit as she was going forward. It was a lovely pass that was hit into her, but Kildare in the end just able to cut it out and managed to go here on the counter attack themselves. Been a good lively start to the game here, an enjoyable match so far.
Yes, quite a good game, up and down, good movement.
Ellen Dowling is the number 13 for Kildare, who has gone deep. They're trying to isolate, you just get the feeling of Roisin Byrne inside there. Ball has got in towards her again. Immediately draws the attention of the Leitrim cover. Now she's cut inside here, 21 metres out, 14 metres out. Oh, great block, absolutely brilliant block. That's serious defending in there, Maeve.
Great block again, I think, by Jasmine May. Fantastic work.
Yeah, that's a couple of vital interceptions she's made in the game so far. Ball has gone down there towards the direction of the forward line again for Leitrim. Quinn again was one of the intended targets inside, but it's going to be Kildare who come away with it. Well, any thoughts they might have had of an easy game here been dispelled early on by Leitrim. Ellen Dowling bringing the ball forward. Kildare's turn now to hold on to possession for a period of time, leading here by 3 points to 2 as they come again on the attack. Here's our midfielder in possession, Aoife Rattigan. Rattigan goes across there to the far side of the field, linking up with Ruth Sargent, of course, our brother involved as well in the Kildare men's team. They have a vital game coming up against Roscommon next week. Dublin and Sligo, remember, in the same group as well. So busy couple of weeks coming up in the Sargent household. Ball goes across there to Laura Gilbert, bringing it forward here from the half-back position. Got the pass inside there to our captain Clifford again, and Clifford is on the move. Danger here. Grace Clifford, goal in her mind. Brilliant finish. Grace Clifford, the captain, helping to settle Kildare down. She was involved a couple of times in the move. Once she got in 1-on-1 against the goalkeeper Michelle McNulty, there was always only going to be one outcome, and that's a crucial goal for Kildare, Maeve.
It is indeed. And didn't really nobody got a hand to her as she was waving her way through.
It was the speed of hand of the ball through the hands there that very much was the problem for Leitrim, and Clifford involved a couple of times in it, and the team captain has hit an absolutely crucial goal. Kildare leading now by 5 points to 3. On the attack again with Roisin Byrne taking on the marker. Again, there's possibilities here for Kildare. Again, they've got the opportunity of a score. This time they might be quite content to take a point. They are. It was a good move inside. They mucked the ball into the inside forward line. It was the corner forward Lara Curran who has got her first point of the game, and Kildare now put 3 between the teams. They look good value for money there, Maeve, at the moment.
Yeah, that was a great finish by Grace Clifford there.
Yeah, well, that finish of the goal has certainly ignited the atmosphere around Advant Money Park. Sean McDermott at the minute. Leitrim now very much in a sticky period of the game here, where they just want to try and very much consolidate their position at this stage. Elsie Bruin, I think, has gone way back deep to try and gather that ball in the full forward line. Plenty of positional switches here, or she's playing in the full forward line, but she went really deep to get that one. Again, it's Clifford who brings the ball forward here. Grace Clifford has certainly started the game in impressive fashion. Roisin Byrne. Kildare moving it across here towards Trina Duggan. Duggan taking on her marker. This direct running style of Kildare is causing problems for Leitrim at the minute. Now Nessa Dooley gets her shot away, and Nessa Dooley shoots wide number 3 for Kildare. They've hit a couple of poor wides. They've hit 1-3 in the early exchanges of the game. We're almost gone through the opening quarter, Maeve. Give me your thoughts on the first 15 minutes or so.
Well, certainly Leitrim have started well enough. I don't know if you know, but Kildare are pulling it way over to one side, and you see this number 5 heading down here. They're leaving it free for players to run down that side, and it has worked for them in terms of getting the goal. They're
on the attack again. It's Roisin Byrne, 2 points to her credit so far. This time looking to turn provider. The ball is recycled back out here to Claire Sullivan. Gives the pass to Ellen Downing. That's an ambitious shot from distance, and that one goes out to the left side of the post and wide number 4 for Kildare. The two teams enjoyed contrasting fortunes in their recent provincial competitions. In Leinster, the Lily Whites registered a 2-12-18 win against Wexford. Roisin Byrne scored 1-7 in the final that was played in O'Bore Park in Port Leisha. And again, Kildare now winning some possession back there. Aoife Rattigan and Grace Clifford are a formidable pairing in the middle of the field. They're getting the lion's share of possession there at the minute. Here's that direct running again. Lara Kern is the player who's made a bit of space this time, turns and shoots, and again it's another wide number 5 for Kildare. They've left their shooting boots back in the back at home so far, and that's lucky for Leitrim.
It is indeed. And Aoife Gilmartin, unfortunate there, because it was a good kick out to her and didn't just hold on to it. I'd like to see Elise Brune as well as that getting more on the ball there. We really rely on Laura O'Dowd and Elise Brune to bring that ball forward, so you need them on the ball. Yeah,
Elise Brune very much named as number 15, but going back deep and offering an extra dimension to the team in the build-up play. Here's Vivian Egan trying to bring that ball forward. Seems to have picked up a little bit of an injury in the process as well. Referee says play to continue. It could be almost maybe an injury there that seems to have winded her more than anything else. And she's going to receive some treatment.
Yeah, she looks like she got a bit of a bang, all right.
Yeah, she was on the way through there. Got a point early on in the game for Leitrim as well. We're just on about the form of Roisin Byrne. And she scored 10 points in the Division 3 League final against Clare. Downing scored their second goal in that final as well. So whereas Roisin Byrne is a main threat inside, we've seen it here already. There's goals in many different parts of this Kildare team. So many potential match winners that Diana Hora has assembled here in this squad.
Yeah, Grace Clifford is quite common. It's quite often that she goes forward and scores as well, as she just did there against us.
Yeah, so there's possibilities here again. And once more is Grace Clifford, the team captain, who plays that beautifully and intelligent ball in there again to Lara Curran. And here's Clifford. Look at her go once again. She must be almost impossible to mark in these conditions. Byrne, Clifford, she could be looking for another goal. No, this time she's quite content to take the point. 1-1 from her. And Grace Clifford, well, her work rate is absolutely phenomenal. Her fitness levels are a joy to behold as well there. She started the move at one end of the field. She finished it at the other. And as I mentioned there in the commentary, I know I wouldn't like to be marking her out there on a day like this.
Yeah, we're certainly struggling to stay with her there. She's giving and going and getting that ball back again. They are giving it back to her.
Absolutely. She's just so instrumental in so much of the build-up play here. Now let's see what Leitrim can do. Alicia Brune is the player who brings the ball forward. Plenty of good running for her in the game. In towards Leah Fox, or was in towards the general direction of Leah Fox, but that ball was never really going to suit a forward of her statue inside. She really needed that quality ball there to trouble the Kildare defence, as she was doing a little bit earlier in the game. Something that Leitrim are going to have to try and work out at the first break and play they get. Aoife Rattigan now bringing it forward here for Kildare again. Down to the Leitrim 45-metre line it goes. Lara Curran. Once more, it's Roisin Byrne. Look at the way Kildare are making so many options here for themselves. Ball inside again to that forward line, and the referee has spotted the infringement. No advantage coming, as Aoife Rattigan was thinking about the shot, and it's going to be another free. But the big thing about Kildare here, Maeve, and it's so impressive to watch, the amount of options to have, and the work rate off the ball is phenomenal.
Yes, and they're just moving and moving. Each player seems to have 2 options each time. There's somebody running by her.
And the free is going to be kicked in here by Roisin Byrne. She's gone short. Knew exactly what she was doing. Really sets it up for Ellen Downing, and Ellen Downing is quite happy to take a point. Quick thinking there by Roisin Byrne. The Leitrim defence momentarily switched off, and Kildare get a relatively easy score, and they go into a 1-5 to 3-point lead now at this stage. I suppose the speed of mind is something else that you have to be very much aware of out there, and Kildare just seem to be a gear or two higher than Leitrim at the minute.
They are at the moment, and I mean, there was nearly a goal for the taking there. It was a relief when she went for a point.
Yeah, a point in the end was what she decided to take on it, but Grace Clifford has set another attack in motion here again. Ball is recycled back out to Roisin Byrne. She's enjoying this role. That's good defending once more by the Leitrim girls inside, and Carla Le Guin was the player who got back there. Michelle Guckin has come back deep, frustrated maybe not getting enough of possession early on in the game. Quinn is going to bring it forward now, tries to get that pass away, but again it's cut out there. Laura Gilbert was the player who made the telling interception for Kildare, and they look so dangerous on the counter-attack. Roisin Byrne, 45 metres out from the Leitrim goal, heading towards the 21. Still Roisin Byrne onto the right boot, looking for the score from play. Not coming. It's wide number 6 instead. Well, again, Maeve, I suppose Leitrim give the ball away there, and Kildare's transition here from back to front has been hugely effective.
It has indeed, straight up. I think within 3 passes and the player's taking the shot.
Yeah, that's it. They really are a team that's been certainly getting into their groove here under Diana Hora, their manager, and these particular parts should be well known. A former Roscommon manager, managed Longford as well in the past. Mayo lady, very much right at home now with this Kildare team, and really moving them on and really elevating their progress in the championship and indeed in the league over recent years. No doubt about it, they'll be one of the big contenders here for the All-Ireland Championship in 2023. One of many people's favourites after winning the Division 3 league title and indeed securing the Leinster provincial title as well. But Michelle Guckin here has this free for Leitrim, a player who converted a 45 from the ground in the opening round of the Connacht Championship against Sligo down at Markovich Park. That was worth 2 points. She had a win behind her on that day in Markovich, but still a phenomenal feat nonetheless. This time she's going to go short. Leah Fox, the intended target. Guckin will make herself available for the return. Here she is, 14 metres out from goal. Gives it back to Fox. Again looks to run at the Kildare defence. The referee didn't see anything wrong with the tackle as Leah Fox ended up on the ground, and another chance comes and another chance goes.
Another chance missed. Might be better to take the score at that, and Michelle was beside her as well. It's hard to know.
Yeah, it's just difficult to know at this stage. You can see maybe why they think they need goals in the game, but they need a score just to consolidate their position, you feel, as well. Nessa Dooley plays it out here to Roisin Byrne again. Roisin Byrne loses out there to Charlene Turl in that particular duel, but again the referee's whistle has sounded and the Kildare player is down on the ground at the moment and will need some running repairs, and the referee decides to stop the watch for a few minutes and gets an opportunity to bring in some treatment and maybe an opportunity for the respective management teams to try and change something in there as well. Kildare, of course, a team now that have defeated Wexford in the last 2 provincial finals. They won against Wexford 5-8 to 2-9 when the teams met in the group stages of the competition as well. So they'll be a team maybe that the Model County will be looking maybe not to see again in a hurry in the championship. More comprehensive winners against Louth in the Leinster semi-final. And the one thing that Diana Hora, the luxury that she has coming into this game as well, Maeve, is that it's a fairly settled team. No real changes from the team that won the Leinster final, and you can see that from Kildare. They seem to have a nice familiarity of playing with each other.
They do indeed, and I did notice too for their Leinster final though they did bring on I think 5 subs at the same time. So they have a good depth in their bench as well. Yeah,
it's all about the strength and depth of the panel this year. There's no doubt about that. 1 or 2 injuries, but they seem to be healing up. Now let's see what Leitrim can do here. Really needing a score, you feel, at this stage, early stages in the game, but you've seen when they got a couple of scores early on and trouble Kildare that there might be possibilities for them. Has come out here was McGovern. Let's see what they can just get something moving here, the Leitrim girls in the middle of the field. McGovern, a nice 1-2 there. Possibilities here for them again. Brune was a player who was pushing up there with it, and the referee spotted the infringement as the pass was just been executed, and it's going to be a free in. Nice combination play there. The 2 Leitrim midfielders very much taking on Kildare at their own game, give and go, good support play, and they've worked what should be a kickable free here from Michelle Guckin.
There was options available on that one. Good, so we need to be doing.
So 2 points for Michelle Guckin so far in the game. This should be her hat-trick of scores, and indeed it is. Michelle Guckin, Kilturber player, lobs it in and over the bar. 3 points now for her in the game, and the stopwatch telling us that we played 23 and a half minutes, and that reduces the deficit a little bit. Leitrim 4 points, Kildare 1 goal and 5. Still a healthy enough lead here for the Lily Whites in the early exchanges of the opening half, and they come on the attack again. Ball walked down towards this near side of the field. Rat again plays it back out there to Lenihan, and running forward here is Aoife Clifford this time. Again has plenty of space to run into here. That has to be frustrating for Leitrim, the amount of space that they're giving Kildare and the amount of time they're giving them on the ball. Aoife Radigan, that's an ambitious effort, and Charlene Turr loses it, and it's been fisted in to the back of the net, and it's a goal for Kildare. Well, it was a speculative ball. Unfortunately, Charlene Turl couldn't keep hold of it, and it went in there to the back post, and Kildare, with their number 11, Nessa Dooley, was there to finish it to the net. Quick thinking by her, palmed it into the net, but unfortunately from a Leitrim perspective, you could say maybe a comedy of errors back there.
Absolutely. Two Leitrim defenders going off for it, and neither of them coming away with it, I'm afraid.
Leah Fox, they need to respond here immediately. Leitrim bringing the ball forward here now. Let's see what they can do. There's the shot going in, and what about that for a response? Right into the back of the net, and it was Laura O'Dowd who finished it there. Brilliant piece of movement from her. Leah Fox was outside her, but Laura O'Dowd went for the shot herself, took the goal, and that's the perfect response.
And that's exactly what you need to see. And I have to say, Laura O'Dowd has given all in all of the games that we've played lately. Another great ball.
Well, Michelle Guckin in again. It goes there. It was Leah Fox this time, but Kildare are able to get it away. But my goodness me, Laura O'Dowd with that goal. That was an absolutely phenomenal goal for her. Got them right back into contention when they needed it. 1 goal and 4 to 2 goals and 5. And it certainly leaves us here with a game on our hands again. Kildare,
yes, brings Leitrim right back into it.
Right back into it, but they have to be careful maybe not to concede scores here. Again, it's Kildare who have it, and look at this. They've got the centre half forward in again here. Chance of another goal, and there it is. Nessa Dooley, 2 goals for her in a row in the game. And well, we've had some spell here. 3 goals in total. 2 of them have gone to Kildare. 2 of them have gone to Nessa Dooley, and Kildare now very much back in the box seat again.
And Leitrim really struggling at that overlap on players, or the players, and giving them a little bit too much room.
Yeah, well, Kildare very much really moving through the gears now at this stage, and that will be worrying for Leitrim, having conceded 3 goals here and 26 minutes into it. Dowd is chasing after this one again. Let's see what they can do here. She's gone to ground under the weight of the tackle. Kildare were warned about her running abilities there just a few moments ago when she scored the goal, and now this time they're quite content to leave it back and let Michelle Guckin take the free. Well, Kildare will be, I suppose, warned once bitten.
Yes, they'll certainly not be letting her run like that the next time, I would say.
Here comes Michelle Guckin again with the free. And Michelle Guckin has put it off on that one and lobs it in between the posts. Good score again from her there, the Leitrim captain, keeping the scoreboard ticking over there for her side of the minute. Good point again. 4 in total for the game so far from Michelle Guckin, and it now leaves it 3-5 to 1-5. The goals are the difference without stating the very obvious.
It is, and that just a bit of space that the Kildare seem to be having.
Good play from Leitrim now. They're managing to get bodies back there and contesting the kick out. Alicia Brune was the girl who broke it down. Laura O'Dowd, Michelle Guckin. Here's Michelle Guckin once more. Oh, look at that for a pass. Absolutely brilliant. Quinn is in. Now they've got possibilities here of Leitrim and a chance of a goal. Brilliantly finished in there by Selma Quinn. A fantastic finish from her right into the back of the net. And all of a sudden it's raining goals here at Advant Money Park, Sean.
Great finish there by Shiva Quinn, and excellent pass the whole way through from Guck straight into Megan the whole way through. They're really keeping possession, which is what's crucial.
Oh, absolutely crucial, and all of a sudden they're back to within 3 points of Kildare again. Well, Shiva Quinn has got a goal there that has almost again electrified the atmosphere here, and Leitrim are on the attack once more. Confidence building for them now. Sarah Reynolds plays that ball forward. Here's Vivian Egan. Vivian Egan, a point already to her credit, trying to make it 2. Umpires consult and say that it went wide.
Definitely went wide.
Well, Leitrim, it's a Leitrim team here that are coming into the competition without the crown of provincial winners. They lost the 2023 final to Roscommon, defeated the same opposition in the final for the last 2 years running. Suffered a 2-13 to 1-7 defeat in the provincial final this year. A goal from Laura O'Dowd, who also found it in that game, had them well and truly in the match. At the interval, they were just a point behind, but Roscommon went on to dominate the second half to run out deserving winners in the end. But Leitrim now have clawed themselves back into contention here as we approach the half-time interval as well. A minute and a half of normal time plus whatever injury time is going to be added on here. And Kildare, who many people were expecting would be winning this game with a little bit to spare, well, it's been anything but. I see they're beginning to warm up Lauren Murta, number 25, down on the sideline, and she could be coming in very shortly, so that'll be a sign that maybe Kildare feel that some changes are needed. Meanwhile, back at the ranch and on the attack is Roisin Byrne. Clifford. Roscommon 4, Wexford 2 in the other game. Here, and that's come off the crossbar. Oh, goodness me. Possibilities again. Back into open play it goes, and Nessa Dooley is there and shoots wide. Well, I'll tell you something, Kildare have hit 7 wides in the game. They won't be happy about that. They're about to make a change as well. And as we told you there, number 25, Lauren Murta, is the player here that Kildare are bringing in. And that's interesting to see that they've been forced to make a change just before half-time. Well, give me your thoughts on that, Maeve. It shows, I suppose, that Leitrim have very much got themselves back into contention, and the changes in the forward division as well for them.
Yes, and it's obviously they're saying we're not happy that we're giving Leitrim those chances to get the ball down that quickly. Jasmine May is having an absolutely excellent game in there.
Number 7 is off, yeah. Number 7 has just come off there for them, Sarah Munnelly. She's the player who has made way. So Sarah Munnelly is the player who has got off. And her day is over here in Advant Money Park, Sean McDermott, but the game is far from over. Just 3 points separating the teams here at the moment. Closing stages of the opening half. Here come Kildare again now, looking to try and gain a little bit of an advantage here before the interval. Trina Duggan in possession. Does well to get that one outside her. Eileen Dowling in possession now. 45 metres out from goal. Good quality ball in there again towards Nessa Dooley. Looking to see where the runs are going to be made from. Lara Curran is one of them. Back out it comes here to the corner forward. The corner forward is Ellen Dowling. And Ellen Downing's effort is well blocked inside by the Leitrim netminder, Michelle McNulty. McNulty now coming forward. Goalkeepers nowadays very much offering themselves as a +1. How do you feel about that, Maeve?
Well, I was at a game yesterday evening where it didn't do the team much favours. I think it's dangerous.
Yeah.
You can see why, with games being so tight, that they need that extra man, but it has its dangers.
It has its dangers, no doubt about it. Here comes Alicia Bruin again setting that one up, and a chance here now is that Leo Fox this time is at the end of the move again, but that ball just ricocheting off the post there, back into open play it goes, watched all the way there by Lauren Burke, the cornerback for the Kildare team. Referee blowing the whistle again. Well, in fairness to Leitrim, when they conceded those 2 goals, I know they scored a goal in between it, but when Nessa Dooley got those 2 goals for Kildare, you were really worrying about Leitrim. But the goals from Quinn certainly helped to bring Leitrim back into it, and the goal from Laura O'Dowd. It was a real frantic period where the game went goal crazy. They're the big talking points, and maybe in some ways it shows that there's frailties in both defences.
There is. It does show that Leitrim can get through. They have been able to, so that is something to look forward to in the second half. They know they can score goals against them.
Yeah, plenty to look forward to indeed in the second period of play.
I think the referee thought it had gone out wide, and it hadn't.
Yeah, and he's going to throw it in there. Michelle Guckin is the player who is going to contest it there for Leitrim, and has the ball again, and the referee spotted the infringement once more, and that's going to be a free in for Michelle Guckin. What a servant she has been for Leitrim, a player who started off her inter-county career as a goalkeeper, but now a phenomenal player out the field as well, one of their chief score getters, and she has another opportunity to reduce the deficit here. But speaking of goalkeepers, here's Mary Hurricane showing what she can do at the opposite end. Good piece of goalkeeping from her, and it sets up Kildare now on the attack, where 32-21 played at this stage now at the end of the opening period of play. Ruth Sargent bringing the ball forward here for Kildare. Here's Lauren Murta, the player that they've just brought on as a sub. Charlene Turl deciding to leave that one as Leitrim again now to go through the phases here. Turl again, this time outside her own 45-metre line, putting the mix up there. They conceded the second goal behind them now as Michelle Guckin kicks a dangerous one in there again. Brunt beginning to chase after it, but so too back there reading the situation was Sarah Reynolds. Both players involved in a fair old duel to win possession there, and Kildare eventually work it out here to this near side to Claire Sullivan. Is there another score here in either team before the interval? Lauren Murta getting some space to run at the Leitrim cover here, heading towards their 45-metre line, eventually offloading the ball to Ellen Downing, has scored a point earlier on in the game. The referee decides to blow at the half-time whistle with Kildare on the attack, and just as they got the ball outside the 21-metre line there was one or two of the Kildare players went through a somewhat questionable look towards the referee's direction, wondering why he didn't let the play to continue. You could class that maybe as a let-off for Leitrim, Maeve.
You could indeed, but I think in Lady Supple it is down to the minute and down to the second, so he obviously was watching his watch. Very lucky that last rasper of a shot came off the crossbar for us. Going in 1 goal down is not too bad, I think, and at least we've shown that we can actually come back and respond when Kildare go forward and score. Two teams getting a magnificent reception as they come off the field here. It's half-time in Advant Money Park, Sean McDermott. It's Kildare in front, but only just 3 points separating the teams at the interval. Kildare lead here by 3 goals and 5 points to 2 goals and 5. We'll be back with second half commentary very shortly.
What can happen in just 1 second? Winning goal, winning save, perfect tackle, clever flick, good call from the ref, great shout from the line. The county title, after 30 years, a long wait over, in just 1 second. It's a game of seconds. Glorious seconds. Genius in split seconds. By great players. Just 1 second. The difference between a good decision and a bad one. A lost temper, frustrated shout, that gut reaction. We've all done it, and we're never proud. But we can do better. We all can. Sideline, dressing room, meeting room, all places of passion where split-second decisions are made. Good ones, bad ones, and some days, not so calm ones. It's instinct, we know, because we love it. We just don't think. But we have to. Of others, of our players, of our game. Think before we act.
Take a second, catch your breath. Collect yourself, don't regret. Take a second to make the right call for ladies Gaelic football.
Think before we act.
Take a second, catch your breath. Collect yourself, don't regret. Take a second to make the right call for ladies Gaelic football.
And you're very welcome back to Advant Money Park Shopping Jimmertown. We're all set to go here for the second half of the TG4 All-Ireland Intermediate Football Championship opening round encounter between Leitrim and Kildare. Kildare lead 3-5 to 2-5 at the interval. Elsewhere, Tyrone 2-7, Wicklow a goal and 6, Roscommon 6 points, Wexford 4 points, Westmeath 2-6, Antrim 1 goal and 8. And a full-time scoreline from earlier on today: Offaly 1-12, Clare 1-17. Referee throws in the ball and away we go here. Second half gets underway and it's Leitrim immediately who are on the attack here. Ball played down in towards their forward line early on, and it's an opportunity again as Leah Fox is moving inside, and it's hit the post and deflected back out. Well, it was the direct ball right into play there, right into the full forward line. Leah Fox very much involved, but it came back off the upright and an early let off for Kildare, who are going to hit here in the counter attack themselves. Bringing it forward is Aoife Rattigan, gives it outsider here to Roisin Byrne. Roisin Byrne with the opportunity, but neither team are able to add to their tally from the opening half inside the first minute or so of the second period of play. Here come Leitrim once again now. Molly Murphy, their corner back in possession, taking the 1-2 just outside her own 45-metre line. Beautiful bright sunshine here now at Advant Money Park Shopping Jimmertown for the second day. Murphy looks as if she was almost running into a cul-de-sac. Diana Horra down to the sideline, maybe thinking that the ball was over-carried. Cara Le Guin has switched it across to Charlene Turl as Leitrim look to get some momentum in their play here. Ball going across there towards Gilmartin. Takes it on again, plays it down into Michelle Guckin, 45 metres out from the opposition goal. Gets her pass back to Gilmartin, just about breaks by the 45-metre line. Laura O'Dowd is in there as well. Here's Michelle Guckin once more. Guckin looking to maybe line up a shot. All avenues blocked off for her. Gets her pass away. Making a good intelligent run on this near side of the field is Carla Le Guin, and she's got the ball. Takes it on towards the 21-metre line. Still Carla Le Guin in possession here. Turns and gets the shot away off the right, and again it drops short, and Mary Hulgrain is able to take it down there, the Kildare goalkeeper. Well, both teams creating chances here early on at the start of the new period of play. Neither team as of yet have been able to get a score here, Maeve Quinn, but the start of the second half has been fast and furious.
It has indeed, and both teams showing well for it. Ball being called back there. Charlene had come out, had read it well, but ball called back for that free. Yes, both teams starting very brightly here. Up for a good spirited second half, I think.
No doubt about it. Plenty of honest endeavour out there from both sides at the moment. A game that very much has been a lot closer than many people might have anticipated and expected coming into the day's game. Going by league form, going by the form in the provincial championships where Kildare were going all so well, but Leitrim very much providing a stern test here for them this afternoon. Reynolds has brought the ball forward here for them. Now they're working it in here towards Vivian Egan. Egan again, a player who offers plenty of direct running, and the Anna Duff lady looks at the post, gets her shot away, but again unfortunately it's another wide there for Leitrim at the moment. How many wides is that for them, mounting up now a little bit at this stage, Maeve, I presume?
Leitrim have not had too many wides in the game, actually.
Yeah, Kildare certainly the more guilty
have 9
party.
I think, but
yes, absolutely. Kildare very much would have had the majority of the wides here in the game, but Leitrim's shooting a little bit more efficient.
And Leitrim dropping it short, it has to be said, is what has happened. I think with Leitrim, the goalie has got it twice when
that's right. That's
you'd have hoped it would have been over the bar.
Stumbling block for them. Here's a dangerous ball gone in there again towards Nessa Dooley, and she got the shot away and finished it with style. It's a hat-trick of goals, would you believe, for Nessa Dooley. Again, the opportunity presented itself and she was there, she was able to finish it. She really has got the eye in for goals here today. The player from a tie, 3 goals from her. How telling could that be?
Yes, well, it'll be Leitrim need to respond well as they've done already, but she certainly winning that ball well there and just turning, and the goalie had no chance. Well,
2-5 to 4-5, or as you can see there from the points graphic on the scoreboard on screen, 17 points to 11, 6 between them again, 2 goals, and Kildare very much benefiting from having a sharp shooter in Nessa Dooley among their ranks today. Those goals absolutely crucial for them. Here's Roisin Byrne, Grace Clifford, team captain now for Kildare. Beautiful bright sunshine here in Carrick-on-Shannon as Kildare look to move through the gears here at the start of the second half. More opportunities of scores, and they've kicked another one in, and they've kicked another one over the bar. Well worked move again, plenty of patient build-up play, and eventually they got it off there to a finisher and they got the point.
Yes, well finished by a nice little left-footed kick there by
number 13, I think, got it. Ellen Downing, her second point of the match.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good score indeed from her. And that certainly now gives Kildare a little bit of breathing space here right at the start of the second half. 4 goals and 6 to 2 goals and 5. The Lily Whites in the ascendancy. Leitrim have to do it all over again. Ball kicked forward here by Laura O'Dowd. Scored an absolutely magnificent goal in the early exchanges of the opening half. Alicia Brune has gone inside here once more. Here's an opportunity for Fox this time, and Hulgrain goes down and makes the save. But the referee was allowing the advantage. He's going to bring it back. It's going to be a free in and an opportunity here for Leitrim again, maybe to get a point. Good advantage play there from the referee.
Excellent advantage play and a good enough shot by Leah. A good save by the goalie though.
Absolutely. Leah O'Dowd very much testing the goalkeeping ability of Mary Hulgrain, but she got down smartly, saved it. If anything, it probably was at a right height for a goalkeeper, but still it had to be saved, and she made the save. Makes her one of the top keepers in the country. Michelle Gucki, undoubtedly one of the top forwards in the country, a player who has won so many accolades at club and inter-county level in the past, lines up another one here and routinely kicks it in and kicks it over the bar for her team's opening score at the start of the second half. Michelle has hit 5 in total.
Yeah, knocking away the freeze, but we really need another goal, don't we, to get us back into the game again. Yeah,
so Leitrim supporters very much will be looking for now at this stage. 4 goals and 6 points to 2 goals and 6. 2 goals or 6 points separating the teams here. Hugely enjoyable game of football, end-to-end stuff. Plenty of good attacking play from both teams. Leitrim's turned out to come in the attack again as they managed to recycle the ball out here. Kicked in towards the direction again of Sarah Reynolds. Now they're bringing it forward with Michelle Gucki up towards the edge of the D. Such a powerful force to stop. Gets it onto the left boot this time, and the shot again comes off the upright and goes out wide. Well, Michelle Guckin's direct running there, troubling Kildare, but unfortunately for Leitrim, the post came to Kildare's rescue.
Yes, she was unlucky there that one wasn't over. She was winding her way through, but unlucky there.
Mary Hulgrain again prepares to take the kick out here. 21 metres out from the goal. Somewhat of a risky enough kick out, and again it's broken down momentarily, but Kildare looking to get it back, and they succeed in doing so. They'll be quite happy to have the likes of Leisha Lenihan back there helping them to tidy up a potentially dangerous situation. Always maybe the risks of the short kick out strategy. Grace Clifford in the middle of the field, a player who has put in huge work rates. Here's another one of the subs that came in for Kildare, the only sub I should say so far. Lauren Murta, wearing number 25, takes the return, breaks inside the 45-metre line. Murta up to the 21, looks to continue on with the run. Back out it comes to Nessa Dooley here again. Dooley to the full back, Lisa Lenihan, who started off the move a couple of moments ago, back at the other end of the field. Through the channel, Zifa Ratigan setting it up. Here's the corner forward, Ellen Downing again.
Leitrim have a lot of players back, but I'm worried about the looseness of some of them.
Trina Duggan looking to get by as well, and Trina Duggan has been fouled
just outside the penalty box.
Yeah, and you're right at the point that you made. All well and good having plenty of players back there, but if they're just marking space instead of bodies, it can be counterproductive.
Yeah, Kildare are very good at running, and a player needs to be shoulder to shoulder with the one that's running, even if there is lots of players back.
Well, here's an opportunity, should be routine enough, you feel, here for Roisin Byrne, 2 to her credit so far, and she kicks another one in and over the bar. It's interesting to see the way they've been deploying her. One of those players that were expecting maybe to shoot out the lights. Leitrim would have maybe targeted her and identified her as a player that they have to keep a very close eye on, but she's very much turned into a role of provider today, you could say.
Yes, indeed.
Breaking ball again, won by Kildare in round that middle third. Roisin Byrne again was the player to win it. Kildare with plenty of options here. Clifford offloading the ball quickly in towards the direction of Claire Sullivan. Claire Sullivan recycles it back to Nessa Dooley again, who has really been goal crazy for them today. 3 goals to her credit in the match. Switched it back to Lauren Murta. Period of possession now for Kildare. Trina Duggan in possession now for them. Leitrim quite happy to drop a number of bodies back. Just 3 players being left up in the opposition half of the field at the moment, as Kildare look to take a moment or two to consolidate their position here. A little bit of a lead built up now since half time. Ball switched across to Aoife Ratigan. Unmarked over this side of the field was Lauren Burke, but instead she's gone there for the full forward Trina Duggan. Duggan bringing it up here towards the Leitrim 21-metre line. Interesting to note the way that Leitrim defensively have set up here. It's almost like one of these particular moves that we've witnessed a lot in the men's game in recent times, where teams are quite happy to let the opposition have the ball. Here's Lauren Murta now looking to bring some urgency into the play. Gets the pass in there towards the direction of Ellen Downing, but the whistle has sounded and the referee is going to award a free in. Well, it's something that's been creeping into the game, as we've mentioned here, where teams are able to hold on to possession. We've had the famous episode in Croke Park where Scotland with 6 minutes of possession against Dublin. All well and good, but I presume in many ways from a player's perspective, soul destroying if you don't get a score at the end of it.
Absolutely, and exceedingly frustrating too for the other team if they are the team that need to get a score.
And it's going to be an opportunity here now for Roisin Byrne once more from this free. Number of water carriers on, as you could probably imagine, a very humid day here, and every opportunity been taken maybe for the players to get some liquid on board. Meanwhile, Leitrim have possession back here again. Gilmartin winning it in the middle of the field for the Michelle Guckin with the ball in hand. The midfielder.
Great in there by Aoife, very brave in there by Aoife to knock out that ball.
Yeah, she's played well in that midfield sector. She's up against some I suppose the man the more short of Heslin's player up against some quality opposition in that middle third of the field today, with the likes of Grace Clifford there as well. And quite sensibly now, with players just receiving some running repairs, an opportunity being made for the water breaks almost to come back in, an unofficial water break maybe, if we could call it that. But I suppose on conditions like this, on a day like this, there would be a strong argument maybe made for the reintroduction of the water break. I know not everybody was for it, but on a day like this, really the welfare of the players has to very much take precedence over anything else.
Absolutely, common sense I think needs to apply, provided it doesn't interrupt too much.
Yeah, big time. So situation here at this stage, almost 41 minutes played now.
You'd like to see Leitrim driving forward now. They're getting caught in their own backline at the moment, and I'd like to see a bit more forward movement.
Yeah, it's almost got into something that would resemble a training game in the last couple of minutes or so. Two teams going through spells of possession. May has given that one away, and Kildare have it back. Possibilities here for them now as they come storming forward, running off the shoulders. Roisin Byrne in possession. There was Ellen Downing. Now it's an opportunity for Clifford. Gets her shot away, wrong side of the post, but it took a deflection on the way out, and it's going to be a 45. Again, Clifford showing us, Grace Clifford, that running game, that ability she has to give and go, the pop pass off the shoulder. Always wonderful for a teammate to have an option like that coming storming through the middle.
Yeah, and she's very good at timing her run, that she's just there as the player wants to offload.
Yeah, it's all about the timing and the execution of the pass and drill like that. Well put together, well set up this Kildare team at the moment, leading by 4-7 to 2 goals and 5, but Leitrim well and truly in the game. Free coming in now for Nessa Dooley, player from the 45. Remember, this will be worth 2 if it goes directly over the bar. Well, it fails really to trouble the umpire and goes well out the wrong side of the post and wide. So the possibility was there. We don't see too many 45s being converted from the ground. I know Michelle Guckin, and I think there was another one maybe scored as well, to the best of my knowledge.
Officially in a championship game, and I think that was the second one. I think there is talk of there having been a third, and I have maybe a one before it came in on the rule book that you got 2 points for it. Only I'd say about 5 in total nearly maybe. There have been 1 or 2 players before have scored them. Yeah,
I think it'll be something that we'll see more of as time begins to advance here. Opportunities then once more now for Leitrim as they come forward here. I think they may have even brought on another sub there, and that's only up in the back of the net. Vivian Egan again. A wonderful run from her, wonderful finish, and another goal for Leitrim. Well, every time you think that they're going out of this game, they just manage to come back and get a goal when it matters most.
Great response there, and almost a solo effort on Vivian's part. I suppose they were busy marking the other to see if she was going to offload, and she fired it into the back of the net. Yeah,
when you beat a goalkeeper of the calibre of Mary Hulgrain as well from that particular angle, it's a good day's work any day. So Leitrim now find themselves again back within touching distance of Kildare. 3 goals and 6 to 4 goals and 7. Laura O'Dowd foraging deep to win possession. Charlene Turrell has been doing it now for so many years for Leitrim.
Megan McGovern making great work to win that. It was a bit of a wayward pass.
It was. The pass really did her no favours, and she did very well indeed to tidy up the situation from a Leitrim perspective. Again, players down injured at the moment, and you can really sense there's more from here on in now that number of players beginning to pick up knocks. There seems to be some changes going to be made as well in the respective camps at this stage. And I suppose it's a day where the respective managers as well will be having to take a look. Johnny Garrity, of course, in his first full season in charge of Leitrim. Diana Horo has been with Kildare for a couple of years. They'll be looking now at very much bringing in some changes there.
Alva Clancy getting ready to come on there.
Number 11. Alva Clancy indeed is coming in and being introduced to the fold now at this stage for Leitrim.
And Elise Brown is leaving.
Elise Brown is the player who is going to come off. So Elise Brown coming off and Alva Clancy coming in for Leitrim. That's the first change being made here by the Leitrim management team. Remember, Kildare made a switch a little bit earlier in the game when Lauren Murta was introduced for them.
Kildare player seems to be
still injured.
Still down.
Yeah, still getting some repairs there, which has led to the lengthy stoppage in play. Well, Kildare in many ways just seem to be, so many times in this game, has almost replicated the situation where they get a couple of scores, particularly a goal, look to be cruising towards the finishing line, and then Leitrim all of a sudden catapult themselves back into the game with a goal themselves. It's a game you just can't take your eyes off at the moment. And here come Leitrim again, moving forward. Carla Le Guin right up to the 21-metre line. Her run stopped, checks, gets the ball back inside here, plays it again towards Vivian Egan, who scored that wonderful goal just a couple of moments ago. Vivian Egan back in here to Michelle Guckin. Michelle Guckin up towards the edge of the square, still going forward, winning the fray. And she can kick this one over the bar from here. Easier said than done, I know, but we'll be back all of a sudden to a 3-point ball game. And with that, being away from home, being the big pre-match favourites, one or two questions you would sense would be coming into the minds of the Kildare players who are warming up. Grania Keneally, as we speak, down on the sideline, the number 21, as she could be coming into the fold for Diana Horror's team very, very quickly indeed. Michelle Guckin, meanwhile, well, I said easier said than done, and unfortunately from a Leitrim perspective, the lead remains for Kildare have that little bit of breathing space, and their number 21 is coming in here now at this stage. That's Grania Keneally, who is coming in and getting the opportunity to shine here for the remainder of this game. They're coming off. I think this might be the number
Aoife
3, is it?
Is it Aoife Radigan?
Is it Aoife Radigan, the midfielder?
Yeah.
I think it is. And that seems to be the player who was coming off. Shakes hands with the manager. You're dead right. That's exactly who's coming off there. The midfielder for Kildare. So Aoife Radigan off at this stage. And number 21, Grania Keneally, is the player who has come in. So they know they'll need reinforcements from the bench to get them across the line here in what has proven to be a tricky round 1 encounter. Claire Sullivan for the Leinster champions, to the Division 3 champions. Laura Gilbert brings the ball forward. In there towards Roisin Byrne. Gilbert takes the return onto the left boot, gets the shot away, but shoots wide. That will be the one thing that will disappoint Kildare and Diana Hora today. The number of chances that they've created, and when you look at the conversion rates, the percentages will not be anywhere near what they should be.
No, they've had 11 wides in this game so far, so they'll be quite disappointed with that. And I suppose themselves too, in terms of the number of goals that they have allowed Leitrim to score and what have you. They're going to be looking at that themselves.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. There'll be some of the results, some of the talking points from the game here, that when it comes to the after-match analysis, that will probably dominate the team talks round about the Kildare training camp for the next week or so. In any case, Leitrim still here.
It does seem like when Michelle Guckin takes them on, she gets her free. She's able to take it on up there in the front. I'd like to see her doing a little bit more of that. Absolutely.
So there could be still chances. This game very much in the balance here. 48 minutes played. Leitrim again coming in the attack. Win chasing after that. We're looking to bring the ball forward here. And they work it down again there towards the full forward line. And that's an opportunity here for Leah Fox. Transfers the ball back outside. They just tried to get the shot away but couldn't really offload it. And Kildare got a lot of bodies back who were able to defend it. Leisha Lenahan there again. Kildare once more will be looking for the likes of Grace Clifford and players like that to very much steady the ship here in the closing stages. First opportunity we've had to look at Grania Keneally. Gives the ball outside her to Nessa Doyle. How vital will those 3 goals that she scored be for Kildare come the full-time whistle in this game?
And Grania Keneally certainly looking like she's going to calm things down there for
Kildare. She seems to be very much a calming
and seems to be a leader, doesn't she, from the body language? Absolutely, and a player that probably needed, just so the ship was maybe rocking ever so slightly. That's Ellen Dowling now in possession. Been afforded a little bit of space for Leitrim, by the Leitrim girls, but it comes back out here to Grace Clifford. We'd almost expect her to run immediately at the defence when she gets possession. Lauren Murta just inside the 45-metre line now. Kildare again going through these phases of possession domination. Here's their full-back, Lisa Lenahan. Again, Leitrim have bounced everybody right back into a defensive formation.
Linehan bringing the ball forward and kicks it across here again to Grace Clifford. Finding the pass to Grania Keneally, player who has very much helped the Kildare team settle down here after the concession of that last score. Opportunity now for Nessa Doyle. No panic about Kildare, but they've given the ball away. Charlene Turrell, just as I say that, was able to intercept and make a telling contribution. And now the ball has been kicked down into a poor ball kicked down towards the forward line. That's really where Leitrim, who have been starved of possession for long periods of the game, win it back, able to counter-attack. But that's when you want to get that counter-attack working with a good quality ball into the forward line.
Alva's ball up front wasn't to the advantage at all of our forward line that time, unfortunately.
Yeah, they just wanted a more advantageous ball into that Leitrim full forward line that has potential. No doubt about that. Here's Lauren Murty again in possession. Gets it back there to Grace Clifford. Decided to go way outfield. Look at the way Kildare have set up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players just outside the 45-metre line, all available for possession. Leitrim having everybody back. And another sub being warmed up there as well. Fiona Trout, number 20, is about to come in, and we could be seeing her being brought in before too long. Grace Clifford has to be, as Maeve mentioned, so frustrating here for Leitrim, going for so long without the ball. Again, Trina Duggan up towards the 45-metre line. Clifford.
Leah Fox all alone from our 45, from Kildare's 45 back.
Yeah, one player marking her, another player almost operating as a sweeper just on the 45-metre line, and almost say an ineffective sweeper from where she's positioned at the moment. If Leitrim could bypass her and get the ball forward, but I'm sure she'd retreat back if need be. Nessa Dooley in possession here, and here's Grace Clifford. You know, I know it's all tactical at the moment, and every team would do what they have to do to win, but it's not just in the ladies' game, it's all over in Gaelic football.
It is.
This type of football is killing the game as a spectator sport, isn't it?
It's frustrating, and as a team playing against it, it's exceedingly frustrating to play against it. Now, it's understandable why you do it, but it's not great to look at.
It's not great to look at, there's no doubt about it. Maybe
as long
we're
as you win, we're not going to be too worried.
Absolutely. In any case, if it's effective for Kildare, they'll be quite happy. Leitrim are setting up that way as well, the argument could be made. Grania Keneally looking to make the return run. Dooley is inside, waiting for it outside here. The 21-metre line is Lauren Murta. Murta bringing it forward. I was reading an article just about the way that football has changed so much by a well-known Leitrim journalist, and Sean McGoldrick, and writes for the Irish Independent, and he said, you know, if you're really taking an interest in this, it's all almost about risk management, this type of football, and you can do a PhD on risk management and strategy building, and that's the way that it's gone. It's such a new phenomenon that has crept in recent years here. Kildare
Absolutely.
again bringing it forward. Here's Lauren Murta, gets the pass away. Leitrim now engaging with Kildare when they get into a defensive sector of the field for them. Bringing it forward here again is Roisin Byrne, and Roisin Byrne gets the shot away, and at the end of all of that, Kildare will say the end justifies the means. Roisin Byrne has got her 4th point. That huge period of possession has resulted in a score, and that's where maybe Kildare's argument will be based on. Look at it's effective, look at we got the score. They'll point as well that there's not enough maybe urgency in Leitrim in trying to get the ball back. Fiona Trout has come in the number 20 as well. That's another change being made by the Kildare team at the minute, but
a very well taken point by Roisin Byrne, because there was a good deal of pressure being applied there.
At the end of all of that, a huge score as well.
Laura Gilbert coming
is the
off.
player who is coming off, number 5. Dead right. She's the player who's been substituted. More direct play here from Kildare this time. Laura Curran plays it outside into Nessa Dooley, and Nessa Dooley gets her shot away, and the umpire had a good look at that one and signals that it has gone wide. How would you feel as a Leitrim supporter, just watching the way Leitrim are sitting back and allowing Kildare to have that much possession when you're trailing now by 3-6 to 4-8?
Well, I suppose the rationale for it is that when they came out onto Kildare in the first half, Kildare were very much able to get that overlapping player and not able to stop them running through, whereas they are keeping it tighter. And
lovely ball by Michelle Guckin. Leah Fox is chasing after this one. Now there's a possibility here. Fox bringing the ball forward. Needs support. Leitrim getting bodies up there now. Michelle Guckin is there once again. Turned and shot. A little bit rushed with the shot. Dropping in there dangerously. Leitrim have managed to recycle it back out. It comes here. Down is inside looking for the pass as well. Referee has awarded the free for them. Well,
Free to Alva Clancy there. Well done by
Clancy.
Shiva Quinn winning that on the end line there.
Brilliant win, yeah, absolutely. And the contrast between the teams is absolutely, it's like night and day. Leitrim pumping that ball in directly. Michelle Guckin and Leah Fox, two main threats inside there. Kildare with such a measured, such a patient build-up play. I think there's another change taking place there as well. Leitrim have brought off their number 4, Molly Murphy. And number 17, I think, has gone on there for them as well. That's Niamh Tighe. No.
Rebecca Rooney.
Sorry, it's Rebecca Rooney.
Come on. Yeah, the jersey. She's not wearing the 27. Yes.
27, my apologies. 27 is Rebecca Rooney, who has gone on. Thought initially it might have been 17, but it's Rebecca Rooney. Again, a player who had a hugely successful colleges competitions success this year. And she is the player who has gone on, and it remains 3 goals and 7 to 4 goals and 8. Mary Hull-Grade again with the short kick out, and they play themselves into problems here again. Now can Leah Fox finish here? There could be an opportunity. Gets the shot away, and it's in the net, and that's the goal that they needed. Oh goodness gracious me, it came from a short kick out, and there, when you needed the finish, Fox provided it. First score in the game, would you believe, for her? But my word, it was a brilliantly taken goal, and here we are now in an amazing game with just 1 point separating the teams, Maeve.
It's amazing. Yes, Leitrim right back, 1 point only left to 2. Come on, Leitrim.
Everything to play for here in the closing stages.
And not quite as patient a build-up this time from Kildare.
They're going more directly, and another chance, and there their goal comes in for them, and it's number 21, Grania Keneally, who has finished it to the back of the Leitrim net. On the field as a sub, gets the goal. A goal at one end for Leitrim, a goal at the other end for Kildare, and Grania Keneally gets the finish away. 5-8 to 4-7, 23 points to 19. This game just, history repeats itself time and time again. Goals galore. Well, 9, there you go, 5 and 4, 9 goals. Plenty of talking points. Number 15 has come off there as well for Kildare, Lara Curran at this stage. And Maeve, well really, I'll tell you something, it's all taking place here at the moment, isn't it?
It's certainly end-to-end stuff, John, on this game, and they're both responding to each other. Now let's see Leitrim do it again.
Well, here we go, 57 minutes played now. And the scoreboard as it reads, 5 goals and 8 to 4 goals and 7. This is absolutely brilliant. Ciara Price has come in there as well for Kildare, another one of the players that they've introduced. Michelle Guckin going deep now. Closing stages is going to be absolutely crucial in the game. Both teams are going to have to throw caution to the wind in many ways. Kildare have possession. The foul conceded by Leitrim in the middle of the park. And it's going to be a free in here, and it's going to be one that's going to be kicked by Grace Clifford, the Kildare captain. Well, 9 goals, 15 points, 9 goals and 15 points shared between the teams here. Many people will say that there's some audacity to complain about teams holding on to possession when you can get so many scores, Maeve.
Absolutely, and that was a great goal taken by Kildare, no more than the Leitrim goals. They've all been good goals as well, John.
The finishing has been absolutely brilliant by both teams. Goalkeepers really haven't had a chance at any of the goals so far. Here's a player who's made a difference, Grania Keneally. You quite rightly identified, Maeve. She's got that look of a leader about her.
She's orchestrating it there.
She is. She's like the quarterback, isn't she? Directing the orchestra, making sure that players are in the right position, bringing an added sense of assurance to the Kildare team in the closing stages here. And still they come on the attack. They need a couple of more scores to see this one out. The way the game has been going, teams have been conceding scores at no end. Kildare now, for their part, very much happy to keep the ball deep in the Leitrim half of the field. Again, they sell themselves short with the pass.
Yes, Alva Clancy making great work there, winning that ball back.
And she has overcarried the ball coming out. And the Leitrim management team shake their heads on the sideline. I think it's Niamh Tighe is warming up now. She's going to be coming in very shortly. But whatever time we're going to have left, 58 minutes 53 played. And Kildare once more in possession with the lead of 5-8 to 4-7. 4-point advantage here for the Leinster and Division 3 champions as we tick into the closing stages of the game with Grace Clifford giving the pass away to Claire Sullivan. Again, Kildare will try and eat up the clock, hold on to possession. Leitrim are going to know that they'll just can't afford to sit, can't afford to stick. They're going to have to twist at some stage in this game if they're going to get themselves back into it. Clifford, there's always a possibility of more scores being conceded, and Grace Clifford very much hammers that fact home with another point from her. 1-2 I'm making for the Kildare captain from midfield, and Kildare now at this stage just seem to be giving themselves a little bit of breathing space in the match towards the end of the game. 5 goals and 9 to 4 goals and 7.
Yeah, they just do seem to be able to come and take those scores when they need to. Leitrim still hanging in there though, and still a possibility.
Still a possibility.
Certainly not. They've not given up despite all the scores Kildare have got. They keep coming back.
Yeah, they've brought off Aoife Gilmartin, their midfielder as well. So Niamh Ty has come in for her for the closing stages of the game. Rebecca Rooney.
Well done, Megan.
First opportunity for her to impress after coming in. Gets her pass away there down towards Laura O'Dowd. Leitrim winning the ball inside the 21-metre line. Dowd recycles it back out. Possibilities for Leah Fox. Wonderful goal just a couple of moments ago, and this time she's content with the point. She really is something special. Had the opportunity of seeing her in the Dome in the O'Connor Cup a little bit earlier on this year, and in conditions like that and conditions like these here today, she is a player that you would spend the admission fee alone to watch, to come in and see in action.
Yeah, she has great ability, but also great cutting and great effort.
4 goals and 8 to 5 goals and 9, 24 to 24 between the teams as the scoreboard shows there. Still in the balance, still in the mix, but we're a minute into injury time, and all at the discretion of the referee. All depends on how much time the clock or stopwatch was closed down or stopped for different stages. Kildare still with their noses in front here. Some more switches been made as well on the Lily White's team at this stage. I think they may have withdrawn their full forward there too, have they? Trina Duggan. And some more changes for Leitrim as well. You can tell us about in a moment. In any case, Michelle Guckian is in there to win possession now for Leitrim. Have they got it in them for one last hurrah? Again, they're going to bring the ball forward here. Again, it's going to be Laura Dowd who tries to away, gets the shot away. But again, Kildare are able to block it. You were telling us about some changes there. Leah Fox in that shot.
Yeah, Niamh Ty is on for Shiva Quinn, and Brona O'Rourke is on as well at the moment.
2 late changes here. Diana Hora urges Kildare on to try and get themselves across the line here in what could be a hard-fought, a much more maybe difficult game than anticipated, but it was never going to be easy coming down here playing Leitrim in their own backyard. Mia Doherty, another one of the subs in here now for Kildare. They've really had to empty the bench as well here in the second half, but the day has been so warm, so humid, so energy sapping. It was always inevitable that players were going to be needed from the bench to come in and do the business on a day like this. Lauren Murty was one of the subs to come in just before half time. Claire Sullivan with the jersey sleeves rolled up, very much I suppose a symbol you could use what Kildare had to do here today, and roll up the sleeves and try and dig out the victory. Claire Sullivan has offloaded it outside her towards the direction of Roisin Byrne. Here's the midfielder Grace Clifford again. Grace Clifford switches it back. Opportunities for Lauren Murta. They'll try and hold on to the ball for as long as they can here. Nessa Dooley, keep going back to it. Those scores that she got, absolutely crucial. Doherty. Kildare very much now looking for a score. Roisin Byrne kicks it back towards the direction of Aoife Clifford this time. Just inside the 45-metre line to Ellen Downing. Downing has got Lauren Boyle free outside her. There's a little bit more width in the Kildare setup at the minute. Ball transferred back again. Fiona Trout, one of the subs that came in. And here is Grace Clifford. Some job to pick a player of the match in this one, Maeve. There's been a number of standout performers on both teams.
I think you would look at Grace Clifford though in terms of leadership from midfield.
Absolutely, yeah.
And her ability to always be there when needed, when to make that turn back again.
Yeah, I concur 100%. Yeah, time and time she's been a real leader out there for Kildare this afternoon. It looks now at this stage that they might just have done enough to secure the 2 points in this game and get their championship campaign off to a winning start in the All-Ireland series. Ball walked down towards Lauren Murta. Leitrim just can't get their hands on the ball at the moment, and inevitably with a team having so much possession, There was always going to be a free in, and that's
Tough
sometimes
call
can
there
happen.
because I felt that Leitrim were just standing over her rather than actually really putting a hand on. But
Yeah, I think that was probably...
it's always one you wonder about.
It is. Rachel McIntyre is getting a couple of late minutes of a run out here for Leitrim as well now at this stage.
And Vivian Egan there saw her
Vivian
pull
Egan
up
is coming off.
seemed to pull up there a minute ago.
In fairness to Vivian Egan, she's put in some shift there in difficult conditions and really ran herself into the ground for the Leitrim cause this afternoon. All eyes now on the free coming in here from Roisin Byrne. She's converted 4, I made it in the game. This could be the 5th, and it could be a significant one. So Roisin Byrne off the right, taps it in and taps it over the bar. Good score from her. 5 goals and 10 points now for the ladies of Kildare. 4 goals and 8 for Leitrim. 25 plays 25 between the teams, and the stopwatch tells us that's 65 minutes have elapsed now at this stage. Ball kicked out again quickly here by Leitrim. Charlene Turrell still providing great leadership in that defensive sector of the field, and with that the referee has seen enough and blows the full-time whistle. Well, coming into the game, everybody was, I suppose, neutrals were expecting a Kildare victory. The form guide was very much pointing to a Kildare victory, but Leitrim had other ideas, and they proved to be very stubborn opposition here for the Lily Whites today. And obviously Kildare will take a lot from the game. They'll look at ways where they can improve as they look to build on in the Leinster Championship. Leitrim will obviously see ways to improve as well, but I think from Johnny Geraghty's perspective, they'll take a lot of positives here from having stood up and gone toe-to-toe with one of the All-Ireland favourites.
They will indeed, and it was a much better performance than, say, if you like, in the previous 2 games, shall we say, where they really didn't get into the game and really didn't stand up to the other team. They certainly stood up and were counted here today, and quite a good performance, unfortunately on the wrong end of it, and some scoreline from both teams.
They're looking at it from a Kildare perspective. Briefly, Maeve, have we seen, I suppose in patches today, in glimpses, we've seen why a lot of people would be making Kildare as perhaps potential All-Ireland winners. A number of wonderful players out there for them. Grace Clifford, obviously, 4 goals, or 3 goals as well, coming from Nessa Dooley. They've got so many potential match winners there. There's areas that need to tidy up, but they are the real deal.
Absolutely. And I suppose if you look at them, they had, I think, at least 11 wides in the game, which is something that they're going to look at themselves. And I know even from the talk out of Kildare, they're certainly looking at being there for the Mary Queen Cup in August.
Well, look, that's all to play for, Maeve. It's been a pleasure to have you on board here today. Thank you so much indeed, as always. A good result in the air for Kildare. They've come here, they've conquered, they've got the win. Kildare 5 goals and 10 points. Leitrim 4 goals and 8. These 2 teams will yet feel that they could have a major say in the provincial championship as it concludes and progresses over the next number of weeks. But so far, from today, it's advantage Kildare. They've got lift-off in the TG4 All-Ireland Intermediate Championship. Full-time scoreline once again, Kildare 5 goals and 10 points, Leitrim 4 goals and 8. Our crew here today, Maeve Quinn and co-commentary. Rory O'Brien was our director and producer. James Conlon was on camera. And from myself, John Lynch, thanks for watching and a very good afternoon. It's bye-bye for now.